So, good afternoon. My name is Karina, and today I'm going to talk about some of the environmental problems of El Salvador, especially the case of the contamination in the Lampa River. So, right now I'm taking a subject that is called environmental law, and we were discussing the topic of ecosystem services. Now, ecosystem services are basically the benefits we get from nature, what nature provides to us. And we have four main ecosystem services. The regulating ones that help us to control the climate changes, the temperature, the supporting that helps to keep the balance in the ecosystem, the provisioning that basically consists in what we get from nature, like clean water, we get food, we get medicines, and many other things. And the cultural that talks about recreation we get from nature and the sense of belonging to somewhere. Now, this is important because the Lempa River gave us all these ecosystem services. So if one of them is missing, then everything falls apart. And we need to have this in mind before we get in the topic. Now, talking about the river, we have here a little video of the river. This is the largest and most important river of El Salvador. It has 17,000 square kilometers and it crosses three countries that we have: El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. Now, let's talk about the actual environmental issues that this river is facing right now. First, we have the expansion of sugarcane fields. Now, the cultivation of sugarcane can be very intense, and the products that are used in this kind of cultivations can help to displace native species. So we are losing biodiversity there. Then we have the widening of the river. The river widens so much that it can cause a lot of floods that not only affect the people that live near the river, but also can affect the soil, and it can make the soil not longer be fertile. And then we have, as number three, the abuse of toxic agrochemicals. Sometimes agrochemicals basically are used to help to accelerate their production, right? But they contain ingredients that are very damaging for the soil and can help to the salinization of the soil. And then, as fourth, we have tons of garbage, right? The most obvious problem, not only the industry, but also people that live near the river. They use the river as their personal garbage can and they just throw garbage there. And to them, it doesn't matter if they contaminate the quality of the water or the species that live there, they just throw them there. Now, let's talk about some solutions that we can find. First, we need to impulse river cleaning campaigns, also reforestation campaigns for native species. Now, these 2 points are very important, and maybe we can identify with those solutions because those are the ones where we can participate, right, the most. And it's important because if we get, especially with getting a native species, is if we get the plants, the native plants that were there again, then the native animals that were there, they are gonna come back as well. And we can actually have again that biodiversity that we lost. And the third one, and I think this is the most important one because if we don't get this, probably the other two are not going to be as impactful as we want them to be, is to update the law on the control of pesticide, fertilizer, and agricultural products. Now, this law was published, as you can see, in 1963, so it's a long time ago, and it hasn't been updated. And the update that this law needs is especially in the topic of agrochemicals, because we need to create a group of specialists that review the agrochemicals that are used in our country, and that they check that the ingredients that those agrochemicals have um, are not toxic or damaging for the soil, for the animals, and for us humans in general. And that is really a big problem, because as we can see there, some statistics provided by CRIPDES, that is basically an association for development in El Salvador. We have that these agrochemicals are poisoning 1 in 1,000 Salvadorans. That means 94.6 cases per 100,000. So we need to take action in that. And last, I just want to close with this phrase: I don't want to protect the environment, I want to create a world where the environment doesn't need protecting. We need to fight for a world where we are in connection again with the nature, and we don't need to remember to protect it, because we will already have that culture. So thank you so much.